Denny Hamlin had the car. He had the laps led. He had the lead with 2 laps to go. And then, in about 30 seconds of pure chaos, it all slipped through his fingers again at Kansas Speedway. If you're a NASCAR fan, you know this feeling by now. Hamlin dominates. Hamlin leads. Hamlin loses. And this time, the finish lit a fire under crew chief Gayle, stirred up more drama with Kyle Busch, and added one more brutal stat to a growing pile of overtime heartbreaks. Let's walk through what actually happened on Sunday at the AdventHealth 400. Hamlin was the story of this race from the drop of the green flag. He and Tyler Reddick banged doors early, even making contact on lap 2 before Hamlin cleared for the lead. From there, the number 11 car was just flat out fast. Hamlin led 75 of the first 80 laps to win Stage 1 in dominating fashion. By the end of the day, he had led 131 laps, more than anyone else in the field. The wild part is how clean this race was. There wasn't a single natural caution all afternoon. Nobody wrecked, nobody spun. Just green flag racing lap after lap. All 37 cars that started the race were still running at the end, and then it all fell apart in the final 3 laps. With 10 laps to go, Reddick ran Hamlin down and took the lead. But then the number 45 car started sputtering. Reddick had to switch to his second fuel pump, and Hamlin slipped right back around him with 3 laps remaining. Hamlin looked like he was headed to victory lane. He said so himself after the race. Even when the 45 got around, I felt pretty confident I was going to get back around him on the last lap if I hadn't already. Hamlin explained. He made the mistakes coming to 2 to go. It allowed us to capitalize, and I knew from that point on chaos was going to happen. He was right about the chaos part. Just before Hamlin could take the white flag, Cody Ware spun on the apron. Caution flag. Overtime. Hamlin's crew chief Gayle was crushed. "I hate it for all of the guys," Gayle said. "I thought we had a great car. We were in position, and then talk about an up-and-down deal with the 45 out of fuel and then getting this caution. I guess Cody Ware spun out on the apron, and somehow we couldn't have made that about a lap later. It's tough." Now here's where Hamlin had a big choice to make. As the race leader heading into the overtime restart, he got to pick his lane. He picked the bottom. That was the wrong call. At least, that's how it looks now. Reddick lined up on his outside. Kyle Larson was right behind Hamlin on the inside of row 2. When the green flag waved, Larson dove to the bottom, shot past Hamlin, and cleared him. Hamlin got squeezed in the middle lane, brushed the wall, made contact with his own teammate Christopher Bell, and faded all the way back to 4th. Crew chief Gayle didn't hide his feelings afterward. Talking to NASCAR.com, he said Hamlin was kicking himself over that lane pick. "I think Denny is just mad and wishes he hadn't taken the bottom and had taken the top because it's a little different in overtime," Gayle said. He went on to explain that on these short 2-lap shootouts, drivers behind you often won't push you because they can split off and try to go 3 wide. By choosing the top lane, Gayle said, you at least force somebody to push you and stay connected. Hamlin himself admitted he saw the move coming from Larson. "I have to recognize that I know Larson is going to do that move, and I have to make sure that if it happens, I do everything I can to let Reddick win," Hamlin said. Up front, Larson actually led at the white flag, but Reddick got a monster run on the top side, cut down to the inside of Larson in the final corners, and stole the win. Chase Briscoe, who had taken 4 fresh tires in overtime, rocketed from 11th all the way to 3rd. Final order at the checkered flag. Reddick wins, Larson 2nd, Briscoe 3rd, Hamlin 4th, and Bubba Wallace 5th, who also made his 300th career Cup start on the same day. For Reddick, this has been a dream season. He is winning at a pace we have not seen since Dale Earnhardt back in 1987. Winning multiple races in the first stretch of a season that has been won by only a handful of drivers in NASCAR history. Reddick also stretched his points lead over Hamlin by a big margin. And here's the kicker. Reddick drives for 2311 Racing, which is co-owned by Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin. So Hamlin technically lost to his own driver. Jordan was ecstatic. Hamlin, not so much. Reddick was honest about how wild that restart was. "I never like being on the inside of it. Really hate that for Christopher Bell. Good, hard racing. The 11 came up. I took off tight. Not thrilled I got Christopher there," Reddick said. "Man, these late race restarts get crazy. I obviously had a run on the 5. I was shocked I was able to get to his inside there." Now let's talk about what's been haunting Hamlin, because this one stings. Overtime finishes have cost him big time over the last few seasons. The 2024 Nashville race is the one fans remember most, where he was leading at the scheduled distance and lost it in the extra laps. And now, Kansas 2026 joins that frustrating list. As Hamlin put it himself last week, his team has found 10 to 12 different ways to not win here. And while Hamlin was dealing with all of that, his old feud with Kyle Busch was getting louder too. It started earlier in the week on Hamlin's podcast, Actions Detrimental. After another rough weekend for Busch at Bristol, Hamlin said Busch has been declining for 5 years and might not ever get back to victory lane without something major changing. Hamlin tried to be respectful about it. This is just my opinion, and I can't hold a helmet to Kyle Busch on talent, but I just think that this is not new. He's struggled for 5 years now, so we just have to be honest about our expectations, Hamlin said. Busch did not take it well. At Kansas on Saturday, he fired back hard. If Denny wants to switch cars, I'll switch cars with him any day of the week, any time. I would love for him to show me that he can carry it better than I can, Busch said. He added, I don't feel like Denny Hamlin even knows what the hell he's talking about, so he can bash me all he wants, and I can certainly make his life hell. Busch had already been using the word bonehead all week, originally aimed at Riley Herbst after a Bristol wreck. You just keep getting run over, and certainly I'm not going to take it, Busch said, but with his warning shot toward Hamlin, those bonehead comments felt like they were pointing in a new direction. Hamlin clapped back on social media. Not really sure what I'm supposed to do. I host a podcast, and I have to answer questions about relevant topics. Should I just say, I don't know, everything seems fine to me? Not sure where he felt I bashed. I'm walking a damn tight rope here, Hamlin posted on X. Then on the Fox pre-race show, Hamlin softened things up with real respect for his old teammate. I was teammates with Kyle Busch, and I know he taught me by far more than any teammate I ever was with. He's the reason I'm decent on these mile-and-a-halfs, is because of Kyle Busch. Hamlin said, I'm rooting for him because the sport needs the old Kyle Busch. Busch, meanwhile, is sitting deep in the points with 0 top 10 finishes this year, in a contract year with Richard Childress Racing. The pressure is stacking up fast. As for Hamlin, he has 4 career Kansas wins, more than anyone. But over the last 2 Kansas races, he has led 290 laps and walked away with nothing. He keeps finding new ways to lose at a track he should own. On Sunday, he found another one.